Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we want to take a look at a team, or like especially a Pokemon that's inspired by our Frankfurt regional champion Inadequance. We're going to take a look today at Giratina. And I was at the regional, I was allowed to cast there as well, which was a lot of fun. But I was really impressed on what Giratina was able to do, especially with the move Dragon Claw. A move that I didn't really expect to be that great on this Pokemon, but it turns out it's actually really good on it because basically, Dragon Claw got a little bit of a change this season, and the change was that it takes now 15 more energy for it to do 30 more damage, which is an alright change. It generally makes it a little bit more, I think, damage per energy, like generally for this move. But I was curious because I was like, it's the spamminess usually what like Giratina really want. I think it's more of a downgrade. But now looking at it, I actually do think it is not a downgrade. Here, by the way, the first battle I think I kind of messed up. If I stay in here, I would have been able to definitely win this battle, but I didn't. I decided to stop out of here, which was really silly. We have to shit on the Shadow Ball. I will shit it anyway, but we see the Jellicent coming in here, and they still have a Shadow Ball start. I thought they only had a Surf, most likely, but they have a Shadow Ball here, so we're going to lose the first battle because of my own mistake. But yeah, basically, I was surprised on how much damage this move is going to do, and it was honestly such a weapon here. It was such a weapon for this team. Dragon Claw was able to just do so much in those neutral matchups, which makes Giratina such a threat now, where before, like, yeah, you could maybe take 2-3 Dragon Claws with one. Like, now you cannot even get, like, Pokemon like a Primeape into farm down range with it. And that's so cool. Like, I really like this Pokemon, and we're going to see as well against a Pokemon like a Talonflame and how the coverage is going to help us out. We're going to have here Ancient Power as a coverage move. It's going to be the cheapest move that this Pokemon can learn. And with that, we're going to be able to just, of course, force those shields from the opponent, which is going to be cool. But yeah, generally, this Pokemon itself was so much fun to run. I think this team is absolutely fantastic, and you're going to see a lot of losses today that are due to my own mistakes or my Tinkaton IVs. My Tinkaton IVs actually destroyed some of the battles for me, where I just lost because I was just not having the 1 or 2 HP extra. I was trading for Tinkaton in the regional in Frankfurt. I wasn't able to get any good one yet. I hope in my next regional I'm going to be able to get a good one. But really, this team here is making break based on which Tinkaton IVs you have. Like, you really need Tinkaton for this team. It's the only Pokemon that can kind of fill the role that you kind of want to have here, in my opinion at least. But it is, yeah, just really dependent on what IVs you have on this Pokemon, because mine, I was really not happy with it. I think there were a few battles I could have won if I just had the right IVs on this Pokemon. But yeah, it is what it is. Here we're going to see the Primeape. This is exactly what I kind of want to talk about. Look at the damage of Dragon Claw now. This move barely did anything before. Now it is nearly knocking it all the way out, which is amazing because this perfectly puts them into range for the acid down from the Credilli. And as you're going to see as well, we are going to be able to win this battle because the opponent forfeits, because they know a Rock Tomb is going to knock them out there. We're going to have here the Sableye coming in. I am going to be able to sub out into the Tinkaton now. And what we will do is we're going to let the move go here. This is going to be the foul play coming through. We're going to have another play rough coming in there as well. And this is going to be an interesting one. So you're going to be able to get that KO. We have the Stunfisk still in here. And we have a Bolos now being able to knock out the, do a lot of damage against the opponent's Pokemon there. The Bolos is coming in. There is the Giratina now up against this Pokemon. It's going to be an alright matchup for us. We're going to do way more damage now with our Dragon Claw. But we still have our Credilli in the back as well. And we're going to get out the Azumarill. And I'm honestly alright with that because I still have the opponent's 2 Pokemon, and they're going to be weak to our Credilli. I could have went for the Ancient Power here. I should have went for the Ancient Power. I wanted to go for optimal fast move timing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They're still going to be forced to go for a charge move against our Tinkaton. Tinkaton is going to be able to go for a charge move here. And we get the shield, which is even better for us. I wanted to get the shield here, and they're going to be able to go for their own charge move, which is alright there as well. Ice Beam is coming through, and in comes now the Credilli. This is going to be a better matchup for us. We're going to be able to use the shield here. This is going to be exactly where we're going to use all our shields, by the way. We're not going to go for any shields on that Stunfisk, because, of course, the Ice Beam is going to do some super effective damage, while the Mud Bomb is just going to do neutral damage, and not a lot of it. And so we can go for the Grass Knolls now to punish the opponent's Stunfisk. We have them perfectly, basically, into the farm down range here. I will let the move go here again, and we keep our shield intact for basically the next one here. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down, and we're going to be able to get that KO. But this team, of course, has a few weaknesses, which is going to be mainly Ice-type Pokemon in the lead. Quite a bit difficult. Yeah, if you would want to swap the order of the Pokemon and go for Giratina in the back, critically say swap, and the Tinkaton in the lead, you kind of eliminate that weakness for this team. That could be an alternative option, by the way, of playing this team. Absolutely. Would work out absolutely well as well. But yeah, this, for example, in this battle is just going to destroy me a little bit there. Like, the Abomasnow is a Pokemon that I want to still showcase as well. I think Abomasnow is an interesting Pokemon to take a look at currently because of all the buffs that this Pokemon received. But yeah, it is going to be a Pokemon that is going to be very tough for this team to deal with. And generally, Abomasnow, I think, is actually a really cool Pokemon. I do think that the leafage is not as great on this Pokemon, but I think that the Weather Ball buff really helps this Pokemon out to be top meta again, because there's going to be a lot of Flying-type Pokemon currently around, there are a lot of Water-type Pokemon around, and a lot of Ground-type Pokemon around. Abomasnow really likes the current meta, it just doesn't like to go up against those Fire Boys, where the opponent, of course, already has a good answer towards it. It's going to be that Jellicent here. Surf is going to come through there, and we're going to be able to go for not the play rough, because they're going to be able to snipe me here. I expected them to swap out, while I was hoping they didn't have a move start already. And like this, I'm just running out of energy. Like, I'm running out of energy, I'm running out of health on my Pokemon. I'm not going to be able to knock out the Jellicent yet. I would need to get debuff first, of course, but I don't have the health in order to do that, because the opponent was able to get the move off. If I get to a Dragon Claw, I might still win. I don't. Close one though. If I survived one my Hex, I think I would have mostly been able to win this one. Anyway, we're going to be able to move on to the next one. We face the Gastrodon. This is one of the reasons as well why our Giratina is so cool. Gastrodon is actually going to be a matchup where we are going to be able to just resist all the charge moves of it. Here, I decided to swap out into my Tinkaton, because in general, we're going to be able to resist all the charge moves. But look at the opponent here getting the Air Cutter boost. 2 back-to-back already, that's a 9% chance. That is very, very unlikely, and also very, very unfortunate for us, because we are facing off against a +2 Corviknight. You know what's even more unfortunate? If we're gonna have 3 in a row, that's a 2.7% chance of getting 3 attack boosts straight back to back to back with a Corviknight. Did we get a 4th one? We don't see it, but I don't think they got a 4th one here in a row. That would have been even crazier. But yeah, we are going to have here a bit more problems than we really should have had, because now our answer to the Gastrodon is nearly dead, because they got so many boosts against us. Like, 3 boosts is not normal. 3 boosts is going to change the matchups quite a bit. It's a 30% chance to get those boosts. We still have enough health though in order to get to at least a play rough, in order to force the final shield from the opponent. But again, we would have had not even any problems against the moves from the opponent. We would have been even in range where maybe would be able to take even like those brutal swings here still. But we're not at the current time. And so it's going to be a tough battle to still come back from. I have to go into my Credilli. I am forced to kind of let the brutal swings go through. And in comes the Gastrodon. We can let the move go here. It is going to be that a Water Pulse coming in, and we can try to go for a Grass Knot against the opponent. We are gonna be able to go for the Grass Knot to get that KO. Well, let's see here. The opponent is going to have still the Gastrodon. I still have a Dragon Claw start though. I can go for the Dragon Claw. I actually took still a Dragon Tail here, which wasn't ideal at all. But this is going to allow us to get the KO. In comes the Corviknight, and we can still knock them out, even though they had 3 boosts on their Corviknight. And also the Stunfisk matchup is generally a very solid one for us. Here, I guess I make maybe a bit of a mistake. I think I should have went into my Credilli, but then again, I don't even know. I think all my team is kind of in an interesting spot against the Dugong, because Tinkaton doesn't get debuffed and takes resist damage on the fast moves, but takes super effective damage from the Drill Run. Yeah, our other 2 Pokemon are Ice Weak, so it's gonna do some more fast move pressure, and with Icy and also like some debuffs onto us. But like, we have super effective coverage with Ancient Power and the Rock Tomb. So I don't know, but yeah, we're just gonna play this matchup out here for now. I actually decided to use another shield here, which I don't know if this was the right play in hindsight. I think I could have went for the Bulldoze here as well. I don't think I needed to go for the play rough, so again, not ideally played. By the way, I play those battles at like close towards midnight. I have to wake up every morning at 6 AM. I am tired at this point. I'm not playing my best right now, but I need to get my battles done so I can do the videos in the next day. So yeah, sorry for that. I maybe didn't play every battle correctly here, but the teams I showcase I think are really, really great. I do think that the last team that you saw with the Dudunsparce was amazing as well for me. And again, I just make a few silly mistakes. I just put it down to the time where I did those battles. Like, I just really didn't have the head for that as well, but I needed to try to get the battles done, so I have a video here for today. But as you're going to see, the opponent is going to be able to go for the air cutter, I think, again. It's not going to be enough to knock us out. We can go for the rock tomb. That is going to be enough to knock them out or get the final shield. We get the final shield. Now it's time for Giratina to knock out the opponent there. The attack is going to drop, but it doesn't really matter because we have the ancient power that's going to knock them out. And now it's Stunfisk against the Giratina. And I was like, this is a bit of a bad matchup. Like, this is generally a bad matchup for me because Mud Bomb, look at this, it's going to do a solid amount of damage. And I had a little bit of damage already on me before. But what we talked about earlier is on how Dragon Claw got changed. And all of a sudden, a matchup like this is not taking 3 Dragon Claws, it's just taking 2 Dragon Claws, and this is less energy than even back in the day, the 3 ones, by 5 to be fair, but it is still better, and this is going to be a KO, and this is something that back in the day I don't think we would have happened that time. Basically, in the time, like basically every single time the opponent gets a free fast move in as well when I would have went for Dragon Claw beforehand, before the change, so like yes, you maybe need 105 energy to go for 3 Dragon Claws, which is 150 damage. Now you have 160 damage for 100 energy, so like it's definitely a little bit better there. But also you don't give the opponent free fast moves, and this honestly just won me the battle. Like this just won the entire battle there in the last one. So like the change towards Dragon Claw is so much better for this Pokemon. Here we actually face a Dudunsparce, and we're going to have also that Pidgeot, and I don't really play it perfectly either. I am fully aware of that. I should have played it differently. I should almost have even went into my Tinkaton there. This was a bit silly. Again, I just played it at way too late at night, and there was even, I think this was not even the last team that I tried out at that point of time. I still went positive, by the way, even though I was playing literally not really at a perfect stage there, but I actually went still positive with most of them. Here we see Pidgeot, Dunsparce, and Dudunsparce, I think it was. Again, the Dudunsparce, I already made a video about for the Great League as well. Definitely check that one out. It's going to be linked in the end card as far as I know as well as the top teams for this meta. But yeah, it's an interesting one there. I think it's a very cool Pokemon to run, Dudunsparce. I think there's a lot of play currently. But as we will see here, we're going to have the Credile. This is going to be interesting. That's going to allow us to get the drill run in. And we have now the Tinkaton, which is going to allow the opponent to go for the drill run, going to knock us out. We have the Pidgeot coming in. We have to use a shield. This is going to be alright. It's going to be the air cutter. And we can try our best to win this. But I think I misplayed this one. I think I could have definitely won this battle if I just played it a bit better. And again, it's down to we, not the team. And here we're going to see a Wigglytuff, and that's why we actually have it kind of in this order, because we actually have 2 good answers in the back for this Pokemon, and the save that we have here is actually really, really nice. But as you see, we are going to be able to go ahead and let this move go. Icy Wind is going to drop our attack, but we're going to see the Blasters coming in, and honestly, I'm like, what are they doing? Like, they get I don't think if they got actually a free fast one here, or just like 2 turns or something, but they're going to give us a ton of energy, but also they're going to allow us to go back into our own Giratina at a point where they're still switch locked, and I'm still, like, I'm now switch locked basically, but I'm going to be able to get a ton of energy here, which will allow me to do great against the opponent's Wigglytuff. I can use a shield here, but I have the Ancient Power, and Ancient Power should be enough to knock out the opponent's Wigglytuff at this point, so I'm in an alright spot here. They swap out, oh, never mind, actually they're not low enough for that yet, but it's going to get some damage onto them. So I'm happy with that. I can go into my Tinkaton now and see what they have in the back. It's going to be the Ninetales. That's going to be actually a very tough matchup for us to still win, but we see on how this is going to go. We are going to be able to, go ahead and let the move go here, because I know I can still take 1 hit, but I know I wouldn't be able to take another one there. So I am going to no shield, actually going to shield here. Shielding up the Weather Ball, going for another Bulldoze. That is going to drop the opponent's defense, hopefully. It does drop the defense. They're going to go back into the Wigglytuff. We can knock them out with the Giratina. So now Wigglytuff is going to go down with the Giratina there, which I remembered, but I didn't know when this actually happened. And they can still knock us out. It is such a difficult matchup, but I do think we have energy on our Credile, and yes, we do. And with that, we are going to be able to win this one, even though, honestly, we had a really tough time. We had a Fire type against our Steel type. We had the Wigglytuff against our lead there. I think that went well. So, next up, we are going to have the Corviknight against us. How do you play against Corviknight? We saw it already early on. Utilize the Tinkaton, even though it's not a great matchup, because you can't take those paybacks like it's nothing. And my Tinkaton, again, does not have great stats. My Tinkaton needs to be changed. It is really not ideal, and there were quite a few matchups where I'm like, if I had a bit of a different Tinkaton, I definitely would have won this battle. But, again, at this point, Tinkaton is Pokemon is very difficult to get. I have a lot of them hatched, but I need to trade for them in order to get good ones. And so, yeah, as we're gonna see here, we're going to have another totem coming through, and it's going to be able to get the KO against the opponent's, Corviknight. And they saw out into their Gastrodon. It's very similar to what we had already in a game earlier on, where where they had Corviknight Gastrodon combination, which I think I did make it. I think it's in my top team video, isn't it? I think that's exactly, maybe even, I don't know, might be even the exact team that I had in my top team video. Anyway, as you can see here, the Brutal Swing is coming through. We are going to be able to go for the Dragon Claw against the opponent. This is going to be okay. This is going to allow us to get that shield. And we still gonna swap out here in the Tinkaton. We don't get the move off, and now we're in a tough spot because we have the Ancient Power stored, but we have now only the Credilli. But can Credilli win us this battle? Well, let's find out. This is going to, I don't know, be able to just do some damage here hopefully. So I'm going to hopefully be able to still get to our Rock Tomb. I'm not too sure. Can we? We're gonna be able to get there. Is it going to be enough? I actually make a mistake here. I should have not went straight, because now I am missing the energy against the Gastrodon. The Gastrodon is going to be able to actually outspeed me. I didn't think that they would have outsped me here like this. And with that, I'm not going to be able to win, again, a battle that I screwed up. If I just went ahead, went for 1 or 2 extra, I would have been fine, but I didn't. And this is going to be it for this video. This team is great. I think the team is great. I just wasn't at my highest there at this point of the day. Trying to do the battles, but I think this team is amazing. Definitely try it out, especially if you're a good Tinkaton. I think it helps out a ton of times. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. See you then. Bye bye.